Hello, and thank you for the opportunity to discuss English language learner assets and building a strong homeschool connection. One of the biggest things I've taken away from my ESL coursework is that English learners should be viewed through an asset based lens rather than a deficit based lens. For many years, schools often focus on what English learners can't do in English, but today we recognize that multicultural students bring valuable linguistic, cultural, and experiential knowledge into the classroom. Cultural influences how students communicate, how they learn, how they solve problems, interact with authority figures, and participate in classroom discussions. Because of this, their culture affects both teaching and learning. Cultural competence refers to a teacher's ability to understand, respect, and effectively work with students from backgrounds that are very different from their own. For English learners, cultural competence helps teachers avoid making assumptions. Instead, it helps build instruction and student strengths. One way to appropriately integrate cultural values and beliefs into instruction is by creating opportunities for students to connect by sharing their own experiences. In my classroom, students often shared family histories, travel experiences, and cultural traditions during discussion. These contributions enrich learning because students bring perspectives that go beyond what's found in a textbook. Culture also plays an important role in language acquisition. Students are more likely to take risks with language when they feel safe, respected, and valued. An inclusive classroom environment encourages participation, which reduces anxiety. Teachers can create these environments with positive relationships, high expectations, respectful interactions, and instructional materials that reflect the diverse practices in the classroom. Some strategies for celebrating cultural diversity include incorporating multicultural literature, providing opportunity for students to share their experiences, highlighting contributions from diverse individuals throughout the curriculum, and encouraging respectful discussion. It's important that this diversity becomes part of everyday instruction, not just an add-on. Another important strategy is leveraging language as an asset. Research has consistently shown that a student's first language supports the acquisition of additional languages. Teachers can encourage students to make connections between languages, use bilingual resources when appropriate, and view multilingualism as a strength, not a barrier. English language learners are not a single group, though. They have different strengths, different needs, different interests, different educational experiences, and different proficiency levels. And effective teachers can respond to all of those differences with differentiation, scaffolding, flexible grouping, visual supports, structured discussion, vocabulary instruction, and multiple ways for students to demonstrate learning. This is especially important for English language learners who have disabilities or other exceptionalities. Teachers must be careful to distinguish between language acquisition challenges and learning disability-related concerns. Assessment data, collaboration with specialists, and communication with families are critical components of this process. The social and emotional language needs of English language learners are equally important. Students who are learning a new language may experience frustration, isolation, or a lack of confidence. Providing structured opportunity for success, celebrated growth, and a classroom culture where mistakes are part of the process can help students develop a confidence and a resilience that will last their lifetime. Understanding students' needs emotionally and culturally is also important when you're establishing routines and procedures. Students may come from educational systems with different expectations regarding classroom participation, collaboration, or communication. Clear routines, explicit instruction, and consistent expectations create a predictable and supportive learning environment. Family and community practices are a fount of knowledge, but they also have a significant impact on student learning. Every family possesses valuable knowledge, skills, traditions, and experiences that can support academic development, and the teachers who take time to learn about these students' families gain a better understanding of strengths students bring to the school. Strong partnership begins with communication. Schools should communicate clearly and consistently with families whenever possible. Provide information in a language families understand. Throughout my experience in teaching, I've seen how important it is to provide multiple avenues of communication, including emails, phone calls, conferences, and digital communication platforms. Family engagement is the most effective when families are viewed as partners rather than recipients of information. Teachers can invite families to share cultural experiences, participate in classroom activities, contribute expertise, support learning at home. Providing these families with practical strategies they can use, regardless of English proficiency, helps strengthen partnerships. Community engagement can further support English learners by connecting families with resources, organizations, libraries, tutoring programs, cultural events. These partnerships create a network of support that extends beyond the classroom. As educators, we have an opportunity to recognize and build on the strengths English learners already possess. When we maintain high expectations but still value students' culture, language, and we foster a strong partnership with their families, we create a learning environment where students can thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. These practices not only support language development, they also help students feel respected, valued, and empowered.